We've talked a lot about the Elm Tree pub in Langton Herring over recent months on this show. It's one of those local pubs where the community is pulling together to try to save it as an important thing for their village. And actually, what the Elm Tree did that was different was they launched this kind of social media campaign on TikTok that got so much interest from Americans donating to raise money to save this pub that now the company on which that fundraiser was launched has decided itself to go transatlantic. We'll talk to the CEO of Crowdfunder in just a mo, but first here's Nick Carroll, who's a previous chairman of the Friends of the Elm Tree, talking to Rick Jackson yesterday about how overwhelmed he was by the support they got.
Literally one Thursday night, I got online and started putting together, I got contacted with a guy, Max Upton, and he helped us almost overnight put the page together. And literally the following morning, I woke up to my phone just going ballistic. By that time, it was like morning, it was daytime in America still. And they had just seen these TikToks and were coming to the website, looking at it and just thinking, there's archetypal rural England, what they sort of expect and dream of, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it just struck a chord. And it was just, for about a week, my phone it was like every 20 or 30 seconds, it was going ping.
Wow.
And I was just going, another 20 quid, another 20 quid. And it was that fast. It was just amazing.
Nick Carroll, former chairman of the Friends of the Elm Tree in Langton Herring there. Let's talk to the founder and co-CEO of Crowdfunder, Simon Deverell, who joins us now. Simon, morning.
Good morning, and happy 4th of July to all your Americans.
Well,
how are you?
All your new American users.
Yes.
Well, so the background to this then, Crowdfunder has been going, since 2010?
Yes, yeah. So we've been running since then. We've been serving tens of thousands of communities across the UK, helping them fund the sort of things that they hold dear in their communities. As the pub in Langton Herring, the Elm Tree is a great example of. Yeah, so tens of thousands of projects funded over here. We get a lot of interest from the US in that what we offer is quite different to what is the main platforms in the US. So we're about funding communities and community projects, and often more than profit type campaigns, whereas the alternatives in the US are mostly around individual causes and personal causes.
But I'm intrigued here because surely over the years, you as a company have done or supported crowdfunding for more high-profile campaigns or even more valuable campaigns. This for the Elm Tree, it was just a few £100,000 they were trying to raise.
Well, I suppose it's how you place and how you describe value. I mean, I'm assuming that pub it would appear that pub is of huge importance and value to the community that it caters to. So the value isn't always just monetary. It's not always just about scale. You're right, we do multi-million pound campaigns that raise significantly more for different causes, maybe bigger causes, global causes. But actually, what we're about is connecting into the communities and helping people save the things that are dear to them. And that in itself is a different scale to measure upon.
A word for this as a kind of style of fundraiser as well, because Nick touched on it in that clip that we heard, and I hope you know this, but what happened here was the daughter of one of these boomers, as they're called in Langton Herring, said, look, you're doing this fundraising all wrong. You need to get onto social media, make these videos. I'll do it for you. And those videos then got millions of views, which brought this American audience in. And if it hadn't have been for Sarah doing that for her parents, this could be a very different story. Crowdfunder might not be launching in the States.
So I think the population there is sub 250. So you've got a very valid point. Telling stories is what is at the heart of all good crowdfunding campaigns. You've got to tell a story really well, and then the next challenge is you've got to find an audience to listen to that story. And some projects will come with an audience already there, and in the case of this one, they had to find an audience. And Gen Z helping the boomers, paying back for boomers helping Gen Z. There's a great thing there, and then that has gone live on TikTok. And as people may be aware, on TikTok, things can find a very, very big audience, and it tuned into something really really, really sort of important with an American audience that brought, I think, over 1,600 individual, we call them supporters or backers from the US who connected with that story.
Wow. I noticed your language here, Simon. You're talking about, you assume that the pub was one of the phrases that you use. And what I'm thinking here, I heard Nick yesterday saying that they are going to have a soft opening of the pub on the 4th of July. No, 15th of July, I think it was.
Yes.
And then they're going to open it properly maybe in September. Surely you, as CEO of Crowdfunder, who are now launching in the States, you have to come down and see it with your own eyes, don't you?
I definitely. So I don't, I mean, maybe you're not aware, but we have an office in Bridport. I live in Bridport. I'm standing in a field, right?
No, really?
Yes, I'm standing in a field right next to Bridport, right next to my home. I got off my bike halfway to the office to do this call.
Fantastic. So, yes, give me specifics. Whereabouts? We know Bridport well. Whereabouts? Which village are you nearest to?
Well, I live in Botherhampton, and our office is in the LSI building on East Street in the middle of town.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of there's 45 of us, not in Bridport. We're dotted around the country. We got an outpost in Cornwall, we got an outpost in Bridport, and people in London and all over the country.
Ah, there we go. Well, so in which case, it makes sense that you've had your head turned by the elm tree. Look, there's the thing. Lovely to have you on this morning, Simon, and good luck with the venture into the States. Is there a day on which it kind of actually starts, or are you up and running there now effectively?
We're up and running. If you want to check it out, it's crowdfunder.com for all your US listeners, and for all your UK listeners, which I'm sure there's many, is crowdfunder.co.uk. Well, and you can go and support projects, start projects, and have a look, see what's going on.
Great to have you on this morning, Simon Deverell there, CEO of Crowdfunder and Dorset Man, live with us on BBC Radio Solent.